Today we are back diving into B.A.P, and I am so excited because I'm going to be, of course, diving into one of the recommendations you guys had given to me called 1004, or I guess 1004, in parentheses, Angel, and I am excited to see what these incredibly and amazingly talented gentlemen have for us. But of course, before we get started, I want to remind you all that I do post exclusive content over on my Patreon, so if you'd like to show me some extra love and support, go ahead and click in the description down below to my Patreon link. Go ahead and pick whatever tier is best for you, and I hope to see you all over there. Alright, now let's go ahead and dive into this and not wasting more time. Here we go. Nice. We're almost like in like a apocalyptic era. Ooh, I like the guitar already. That's a nice melody. Excuse me. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, I apologize. There's going to be no captions for this because I don't know, I'm sorry, they didn't post any captions. They have just the Japanese auto translate to English, and that never works, unfortunately. So I'm not going to really be able to know exactly what they're singing about, so I might have to rely on you guys for that. But hopefully, like, the music video kind of helped give me an idea of what they're kind of trying to convey with the message, maybe, or hopefully they'll at least tell a story that I can kind of follow along with, hopefully, but we'll see.
I need you.
Gosh, they're such good dancers. So impressive. Woo! Damn, brother. That's cool. There's like angel wings etched into the rock. That's sick. I love that. This choreography is so cool. Okay, just based off like the English lyrics I'm hearing in between the Korean here, and the fact that before I started playing this, they had said that there was some kind of warning about, like, you know, talks of like suicidal imagery or like content or something like that, which is like, okay, whatever, I don't care, that's fine by me. I'm not gonna be bothered by that, obviously. So it almost sounds to me like if that warning popped up and they're saying stuff about like, I need you, I miss you now, and whatnot, I'm almost wondering if this is almost like some kind of suicidal awareness type of song, especially with Korea being, along with Japan, one of the highest suicidal rated countries, unfortunately. I'm wondering if this is kind of a song they chose for those people, you know, that it's almost saying like, oh, I miss you, I need you kind of thing, like saying to that person that might be feeling like they want to, you know, leave the earth, if you will, in the most cleanest way possible, that no, like, you're going to be missed if you leave us, you know, we need you, you know. It's almost maybe even like they're saying that to their fans in a way, like, hey, you fans, you know, please, you know, stay with us, you know, stick around with us, because we need you as much as you need us, in a way. You know, I think that's something that's very forgotten, is that as much as us fans really appreciate and almost use our favorite artists' music to kind of escape from our, you know, darkest times, I feel like sometimes we don't realize the artists, I think, rely on us a lot of times too, because if we aren't there, they have nobody to really sing for or, perform for, basically. So as much as I feel like we need that artist that we really love and endear in our hearts, that artist probably needs us fans just as much as we need them. And I think it's kind of forgotten, because we really don't realize that these artists are just like us. They're not these like high-end people that don't feel like the depression or anxiety or the pressures of life. They feel it just as much as we do. We just don't see it on camera because they're probably told by their agencies and their entertainments to not show that side of them as much as possible, which is probably what makes it so difficult for them. And that's why we see, unfortunately, a few different, actors and, singers, or I guess idols from Korea and Japan that have unfortunately taken their lives in the last couple of years. And it's really sad. They really should work on that. And, really, I feel like most entertainments, in my opinion, in Korea or Japan, should have like a designated person to help take care of the artists and whatnot. Let them be able to vent and talk about things that are maybe bothering them. But I'm wondering if that's what the type of song we're working with here is. To keep it as broad as possible without diving too much into it, since I don't really know. That's what it seems like to me, at least. You guys can always correct me in the comments if need be. That's what I'm kind of getting so far. I love his voice. So cool. See, the fact that we're seeing all these like memories that are in like black and white, it's almost like showing the black and white memories, if you will, in our heads of, this person at least this person that's being represented in the music video is this like young lady here, and you can see them crying and whatnot, because I think that crying obviously represents them remembering those memories with this poor girl who probably in the storyline, we'll say, of this music video is the one who took her life, unfortunately. And I kind of almost feel like in this moment here too, this is a really strong representation, I feel like, because you can see a lot of times in the earlier beginnings of the music video that was almost like they were running around and this like almost like mirror. I've seen these before in like there's like different like museums, I feel like, and whatnot. They're like trick mirrors or something like that where you like almost get lost. And I feel like it almost kind of represents like he's trying to chase her and find her again or bring her back, but she's always in a different area than he is. Like she's, maybe in the most, far stretched way, she's maybe in heaven and he's still here on earth, and they're kind of chasing each other in this like, depiction of a place that they'll never meet up, because in this like mirror thing, you never really kind of get almost like disoriented trying to make your way through there. And so it's like they're both kind of in there together, but they can't find each other because it's so disorienting. And that can almost be that representation of they're never going to be a meet up because she's gone and he's still on Earth. That's kind of like what I think is being depicted there in a way. See, and the angel rings on the rock representing her power departure. There's so hard-hitting choreography. I love it. He found a gun. See? As I was talking about before, see, they're both in the same area, but they were never able to meet up. Sorry, I'm gonna get back one. She was staying there That's crazy. It's like he punched through the wall with the angel wings. On the other side, it was her wearing her wings. Wow, this music is incredible. See, oh, and that light. Oh, I pressed a lot of buttons. Oops. And that light representing almost like the lights that come, like that light from heaven. Like when they say, like, hey, don't go to the light and whatnot when you're dying. But that light was already shining through because she already did. Ooh, oh, this is kind of cool. This almost like kind of represent like our time here on Earth, and we never know how long that somebody or we are going to be here. And so it's almost like his time starts, and I don't know. I'm maybe looking too far into this, but that could almost be another small representation of like we never know how long somebody's going to be here on Earth, or we are going to be here. So that's like the time, you know. What are those things called? I don't remember now, but I'm not going to dwell on it too much. That kind of represent that. I miss these raps. These very, very powerful raps I miss a lot in K-pop. Whoa. That's crazy. He was aiming at the mirror. But look at the mirror here. He's aiming at the mirror, but in the mirror, he's aiming at himself. And then now he actually is. Shit. Wow. No. He did it anyways. What? Oh no. What? That is terrible. Honestly, the thing I think I will commemorate them for is talking about a very sensitive topic like this when I feel like it's a topic that most of the time, if you feel like almost like K-pop groups want to stray away from in a way, like especially in this time period back in the 2010s when, you know, I mean, I don't want to say that K-pop was still really in a bad area with how well they took care of their people, I guess. Like, I feel like we're doing a lot better now. I feel like there's definitely room for improvement, but I feel like nowadays it's not so much a problem to see idols take long breaks for their own mental, you know, health or for an injury or whatnot. I feel like, you know, it was still a thing back, because I remember like back in like, you know, Twice's, you know, peak era back in that, you know, time period when Mina and Jonghyun both took pretty long breaks for, you know, different reasons, if you will. So I feel like it wasn't really a major problem back then, but I feel like we're doing a lot better nowadays, I feel like, than we did back then. So for them to really try to discuss a topic that really, you know, is probably sometimes even uncomfortable to talk about, because, I mean, let's be honest, you know, some people really don't like talking about death, or like don't really like to talk about like the idea of somebody taking their own life, or it's a really touchy subject because of the fact they might know somebody who did take their own life, so they really try to avoid discussing it if they can, not bring back those bad memories, you know. Because like I've heard people before talk about like how they had their best friend, take their life and whatnot. I can't imagine like somebody that close to me taking their own life, somebody who I consider maybe like a brother or a sister to me and whatnot, because I'm so close to them. Like, that would absolutely shatter me. I don't think I'd ever recover from that. So, but anyways, like, beyond that, I don't obviously just want to dwell on that. The thing I want to give more praise to for them also is not only the acting here and really portraying the feelings that you get from losing that person, or knowing maybe somebody who's going through that type of difficulty. It's the fact then, each person, like each member kind of had their own story in a way of missing that person. And, the idea of like the fact that a couple of them were like punching, the rock, and then punching like through the glass or whatnot out of frustration, like almost like wondering like, fuck, could I have done something to help with this? Is there something that I did wrong? Is there something that, why did I not see the signs? I think that's probably a lot of times what we all like wonder is, the person seemed so happy. What happened? Where did we go wrong? And, I've heard that sometimes, when you see people so happy and then suddenly they're just gone the next day, it's almost like they're so happy because they're relieved that they're about to be, gone, that they're going to be able to get rid of their troubles, if you will, and that idea of feeling a burden to the world. And I think that I've seen that before, and that breaks my heart even more, that they're so happy that they're about to take their lives and leave the earth, that they seem like they're totally normal, and nobody would even think in a second thought about it. But yeah, like I said, for being such a touchy subject, major props to them for really bringing this to attention this time period of K-pop, especially to a country who really probably needs to, hear that, because of just the high rates of suicide, unfortunately, in Korea. So yeah. But yeah, honestly, I really wish there was I might have to go like listen to this with actual lyrics, like actually like maybe find like a lyric video to really see what the actual lyrics say, because I'd really be curious, because I feel like this is a really powerful song that I feel like really deserves to be fully understood. So, but yeah, anyways, guys, I'm excited to continue diving these guys and see what else they have for us. So I guess for me, so go ahead and leave more suggestions down below as always, and I will dive into more stuff for you guys. But anyway, guys, with that being said, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and drop a like, subscribe to the channel, looking down below, and I'll go ahead and play some reaction players for B.A.P over here, and I'll go and play some reviews reaction if you haven't already checked it out over here. As always, thank you all so much for watching and showing support, and I will see you all in this video. Alright guys, bye!